Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Actually, scratch that. Fellow leaders. Who in this room joined Toastmasters to become a better leader? We actually mainly joined Toastmasters to become a better speaker. What ended up happening is we became better leaders. I started this project after listening to one of Sanjeev's educationals about leadership and the skills that we all develop in leadership. And I went to my clubs, and I had 4 clubs in Area 32. 3 of them were very, very strong clubs, and 1 is a club that is a work in progress. I came up with the idea that I could improve leadership across the area, because it was really important to me, as I was working on my second CL manual, that people in these clubs were starting to understand that leadership was more important than speaking. One of the clubs I went to, for instance, had a speaker who was on his Advanced Communicator Gold, but hadn't finished his CL. He was speaking every second week, and I said, this is just not right. This was a very strong club. So I approached the VP of Education in each club and talked to them, and I said, this is my goal. I want to work on everybody's leadership skills and get everybody bringing the CL manuals to the meeting. Of course, that was going to be an impossibility. But the more people that brought their CL manuals, the more people that would complete it. That's my thought. So another idea I had was that somebody in the club would present the CL educational, the same one that Sanjeev presented it, to their clubs. Pretty good goal. That one was achievable. Third one I had that each club was going to have 2 CLs by the end of the year. And the last goal I had was that at least 2 members were going to be done half their projects to work so they could achieve the CL next year. Club success planning. So how did I do? It was quite surprising, the numbers. For instance, 3 out of the 4 clubs had 2 CLs. Advanced Toastmasters had 5. Auto Toastmasters had 5. Advanced Toastmasters had 3. Sandy Hill had 2. And Centertown, the young up-and-coming club, had 1. I also had the goal of people bringing their CL manuals. Advanced speakers started using the CLIO rule, which is a rule that was created at TLI last year, where somebody takes all the CL manuals and fills them out for that meeting. It's quite a good rule. Our club hasn't established it, but we should think about it this year. The other goal is, when I went to meetings, and I went to quite a few of my club's meetings over the year, and I looked at the table and I saw a lot of CL manuals, especially in my up-and-coming club. They got into this. And Ottawa Toastmasters, the guy who had his ACG and didn't have his CL, got his CL this year. And not only that, but I saw him speak one night. He was Toastmaster, and he talked about the advantages of the CL manual. So I reached at least 1 person. But I think I reached a lot more than that. Because the other people in the club, they were achieving their CL manuals. They were thinking CL manual instead of just CC manual now. And that was a strong point for me. There was 1 club that didn't do the leadership educational, the Advanced Speakers Club. It's pretty hard to go to a club that has half the district executive on it and every single person, pretty well every single person in the club having their CL and being leaders in the district as it is, and ask them, can you please present an educational about leadership? They're already there and far beyond that. These are the mentors of leadership in Toastmasters in District 61. So I was okay with that. The other club that didn't get their CC. That is one of the places that I knew I had to improve. I call it a failure, and it's a failure on my part. I set my goals too high. I set unachievable goals, and when you're working on a leadership project, you may not achieve all your goals, and the key is to learn from them. How could a club that doesn't have people speaking on a weekly basis, there's weeks where they have no speakers, get someone to reach the mentor role? In the mentor role, on the CL manual, you need to get someone or mentor someone for 3 speeches. They're stagnant in speakers. They're working on that. So my goal was in their club success plan. Next year, they will achieve their 2 CL points because they've already got 2 people over the halfway mark. In fact, they're about 3/4 way and should make it by August. And one of the reasons why is I've been coaxing them to get more speakers. And in order, once they get more speakers, the mentors will get their mentor role or their mentor point. And that was the biggest problem with that club. It's hard to establish leadership in a club that is just up and coming and that doesn't have a DTM in the club to help them on a weekly basis. But I learned a lot from that because what I figured out is that if I continue to visit them and teach them how to grow, then they will grow. And they will have more speakers. And they will have people filling more roles on a weekly basis. The other offset from that is that 3 of my vice presidents of education this year are presidents this year, or last year, are now presidents this year. 3 people who worked on my committee have moved up in the leadership role and taken on a bigger role. And I think that's a really good, strong skill that they've developed. 2 of them have never done it before. So they got the confidence to move up. And that was something that I hadn't planned for, but I'm hoping that I had some effect on. Club success planning for this club that's maturing is something that I've had to work on heavily. I think I've succeeded there. It wasn't a goal, it was an offset from one of my goals. What I've learned is that it's okay to make mistakes when you're doing a leadership role. What you have to do is act on your mistakes. And some of the rules that some of the mistakes I made, I found them out in November and December and January. And I started to alter my goals then so that I could succeed. The high performance leadership is a great, great project to work on. And I advise you, people who have completed your CC, to start thinking of an idea now. I've worked on this project for a year. It doesn't have to be a year-long role. Start thinking about it. We have a number of good people in this club that can help you out with this project, and you will learn a lot from it. Madam Toastmaster.